All right, we're here on the Tchefuncte River. I'm with Ray Miller, the Sac-a-lait killer. If you're on NorthShoreFishingReport.com, you know Ray's always catching sac-a-lait year round. And Ray, when we think of sac-a-lait fishing, we think of beating the banks during the spawn, during the spring. But
sure,
these fish, they bite year round. What are the fish doing? What are you seeing right now? Because you're on a good, solid bite right now.
yeah, I'm seeing the fish they're into the deeper water. Every now and then on a warmer day you can catch them, fairly close to the bank, but right now they're moving into the deeper water, and I say deeper, 16 to 20 foot. And we're going to get a few more cold fronts in here, and they'll probably get into that 25 plus water, so later on as it gets colder I'll catch them even deeper.
So no shallow water fishing today, all deep
no.
water.
We're going to be fishing, like I said, 12 to 18 foot of water. We're probably going to be fishing most of the time anywhere between 7 and 9 foot deep. And there might be some occasions where there's a couple of deeper holes we'll give it a try where we'll be fishing 14, 15 foot deep. But everything's going to be 7 to 9 foot deep.
Now this time of year, usually we have to go to shiners. I've seen some of your reports, some jigs, some shiners. We're going to start out with jigs and
we're going to
see
start
what
out
happens.
with jigs. That's what I like to do, is start out with jigs. What I typically do is I go over a spot and I fish it with the jig first, and if I don't catch any fish on the jig and I see some stuff activity on the graph, especially like last week I was fishing and I saw schools of shad. Well, right after I did that I went and ran over the same spot and we caught 6 right off the bat, on shiners, and hit the same exact hole. And
so just shows you
it just shows you. But a lot of it has to do with what's going on in the water, so you got to pay attention. But the jig bite, it's always my first choice, but I always carry shiners in the boat just in case.
All right, well let's get on down
Let's
the
go
river
fishing
and start catching some
Let's
sac-a-lait.
go.
Let's
All
go.
All right, we just passed across the first spot and just got a couple of little bumps, but I could see the fish on the graph. So we're going to come back across the spot, and I'm going to fish with a shiner. And we're going to use a 1/0 hook, red, a couple of weights about a foot up, and a slip cark. And I got a bobber stopper on, I guess you can see it right here, and I'm set about 9 feet, a little bobber stopper. So that's what we're going to do, is fish with some shiner.
All right, first one of the day. Good catch, Ray.
It is a small one, but he'll survive. He'll stick up.
Fit in the pan pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Bass, no?
Ah, good fish.
That was a bass the way it was acting. There we are.
Oh, little baby.
Hey, got you a sock.
Yeah.
What I like to do is set up these shiners and put everybody fishes a little different. I put mine right behind the dorsal fin, so I don't cut into any of his body cavities, like his stomach or whatever, and he stays alive longer, and he can swim quite a bit. So here we go. Let me pop our first one out here. We'll see if we can get one. Yeah, no, you're not going to cooperate with me. No. Might not be on the exact spot here, because this one right here is pretty specific.
Oh yeah?
It's in the water. It comes up. The water's 12 foot deep, and that's how much brush there is as a treetop up to 6 foot. And we're catching those sac-a-lait up inside all that stuff. It's he said your bass and your crappie, especially with a new pond like this, they compete very heavily for the same food. And he said they all overpopulate the pond. It'll eventually choke out most
Oh yeah, that's his priority.
Yeah. Saw that?
Mm-hmm.
Let him dig it again.
He's on. Stick him.
Got it this time.
Here we go.
Yeah, 26 foot of water. There's bunches of them. That might be catfish, because you can see how big the arches are. Man, there's a bunch of fish right there.
There you go. Ooh, good fish. Good fish. Shiner, huh?
Yeah. Oh, Keith got one. Oh, a good one too.
Nice. Beautiful fish, huh?
All right, that's a good fish. This knot here, so that the jig will just float on you. And watch. So I pulled it through like this, wrap the loop around my finger, just go a couple of times with it around, and go back through that little loop I just made, and pull it up about an inch or so, and snug it, and there we go. Now you see how the jig sits like that? Now when I put the jig body on it, okay, you're gonna notice that it's gonna, and do this in some clear water where you can see what I'm talking about. It's not gonna, because when I put it like this, you see it's gonna droop a little bit, but when you actually put it in water, it's actually gonna make that jig sit just like that. So it goes down, it's more of a natural presentation, and it'll actually move on you, you know, up and down like got one on. There it is.
Fish. Look at that, huh?
Let's keep it. We need right there. Get rid of this one.
Alright.
There we go. Get him out of the way. That's a nice little bass too.
Good.
White. Little white Sac-a-lait.
Deep
Look at that.
water.
Oh, look at there, buddy.
Nice fish. Beautiful.
That's a good.
Beautiful white.
Get him, get him, get him. Yes, sir.
Black, huh?
I don't know, I didn't see the markings on it. Yeah. Yep.
Alright, get another one. The fry.
Yeah, get it there.
Fish.
Hey,
Look at this
hey.
fish. Look at this Sac-a-lait.
That's it, buddy.
Let's get him here. We have found him
That's
now.
a pretty
Look at
one
that
there.
fish.
That is awesome.
Oh, you slammed it. I'm playing around with it. Hey, you
Get him,
called it.
Keith. Oh, baby.
Oh, we're at him now, right? Look at that fish.
Look at that.
Look at that
Look at that.
white crappie, huh?
That's it.
That
White
Tchefuncte River.
Look at that.
These are all
Son.
big, right?
And look at him, buddy.
All big.
Oh, that's a black. Look how thick
Yep,
he is
yep. That
compared
is
to the
thicker,
white,
huh?
you know? Oh, you're hurting me now,
Look
man.
at that.
You putting Keith's putting a hurt on me. That's
Oh,
it.
come on now, cow. Look at that. Get him in. Need some help with that one?
I got it.
Got him? Oh my goodness. All right, Ray, what a great day on the Tchefuncte River. Room temperature air, wasn't too cold, wasn't too hot, no sun out here, decent breeze. Got a few raindrops to scare us a little bit, but for the most part,
But it
great
fit in
weather.
the comfort zone of lazy fishing, right?
Lazy fishing, boy. This was pretty easy, especially that last spot that we got out there. Tie on a slip cork and just hit that
Yeah.
one spot. And
We'll let
pull
the
them
shiner
in.
work for us.
Let
that
the
time.
shiner
Let
work
the shiner
for us.
work for us.
So let's run through the day. You know, we start up really no single spot where we really tore into them,
No.
except that last spot. We caught what you know, 6, 7 right there, really
Yeah.
good fish.
Onesie twosies all day, you know,
Yeah.
at each spot, you know, but they're for some reason they're just not quite on all the way. But this afternoon it turned on a little bit better,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Talk a little bit about the colors that you like to use out here when we caught them on shiners for the most part today, but they were hitting on jigs.
Yeah.
Around this time of year, what colors seem to
Caught a
work
few.
better?
It depends on the water clarity, but today the water's cleared up pretty much, and not a whole lot of stain on it. Today it was black, green, and chartreuse.
Yeah.
And we tried the electric chicken, but it didn't work today either.
No.
But black, green, and chartreuse, and black and chartreuse seemed to be the ticket today for the ones that we did catch on the jigs.
Yeah. Now for somebody wanting to try this, you know, just trying to break into the Sac-a-lait world, it's all about doing your homework. What would you advise them to do, especially here on the Tchefuncte River?
On Tchefuncte, you know, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort, really. Just or expense. You can just buy a small pack of 16th ounce jig heads, some black and chartreuse, and
Just have a lot of time.
yeah, and slip carks, you know. But come out on the river and fish. If you see some trees laying in the water, fish around the trees, fish the treetops, you know, and they'll catch some fish.
All right, guys, here in the Tchefuncte River, I'm with Cajun Ray Miller, the Sac-a-lait killer, and we just killed a bunch of Sac-a-lait, all right?
Caught a few, that's for sure.
Get on out here, get you some Sac-a-lait.